What is the power of a great conversation? What is the value of a powerful conversation? Where have you not been recognizing such or using it to its full benefits? This is a question, or 3 questions that came up for me today. And I put them in this group that I created called Asking Powerful Questions, parentheses, to better your life. And I was asked by a member and friend, Stephanie, who said, I would love to know the value for you, because I said I might make a video on this, which was her recommendation from earlier. And so I guess I kind of wanted to show what the power of questions are to some degree. And this is probably going to be a terrible display of it, but yeah, great. If you are able to actually receive and put things to use, then you'll get something out of it. So there you go. And I take my hands off of trying to take responsibility for other people with that said. So, what is the power of a great conversation? What is the value of a powerful conversation? And what have you not been recognizing? Or where have you not been recognizing such or using it to its full benefits? What came up for me was there's a lot of power. What is the power of a great conversation? The power of a great conversation, I would say, is in the questions. That's what comes up for me. The power of a great conversation is in the questions, because it's in the questions that possibilities or opportunities are created. It's in the questions that new possibilities are created. And, it's like in science. New possibilities, new discoveries come about from us asking questions, and it's like that in life. So, a conversation in and of itself, it's like, what's really a conversation? 2 people just telling each other how things are, is that really a conversation? I don't know, I guess it could be. But to me, a good conversation, a powerful conversation, is when you're connecting with the other person, and you're sharing, which might seem like you're telling the other person something, but really you're sharing something. You're sharing an experience, you're sharing a thought you had, or whatever it might be. And from that comes questions. You might ask them, or they might just kind of be untapped, or they might come up later. But the questions are really where the new ideas come from. So what is the value of a powerful conversation? I would say it's the value of the questions, and it's the value of how much you actually use the questions, how much you actually use that tool, because so often we don't use what's afforded to us. What's afforded isn't the word I'm looking for, but yeah, so often we don't use what we have, what resources we have, because we're focused on how somebody else has whatever other resources that we don't have, and it's a way for us to make excuses. If we're honest with ourselves, it's a way for us to look for excuses and to not to do the work, to be lazy. And it's funny because it's like books. For me, I realized how powerful books can be when you I wrote something here somewhere. But basically, when you read books better, when you read better books, and then from that, you'll get better results. Questions are like the same thing. And it's like a book, it's like a question. Books, you have to, as inexpensive as they are, as low a cost investment as they are for a potential massive return, questions you don't even have to buy. You can just ask yourself a question, but we don't want to ask questions. We want to come to conclusions. We want somebody to give us the answers. And it's funny because it's like when you can't ask questions, it doesn't matter what you buy almost. You can't do what's necessary with it to make it work, to get it to work, to let it to work. You buy a book and you just read through it and you don't actually use the tools and you don't ask anything about like, oh, so what am I supposed to actually be doing here? Am I supposed to actually be using the exercises in this book? Okay. When you don't do those things, you don't move forward. It doesn't matter if you read the book or not, or how many times you even really read it. So where have you not been recognizing such or using it to its full benefits? I've noticed the more that I use tools, the more I become aware of how much more I can use the tools to their full benefits. And I would say that where have you not been recognizing such or using it to its full benefit? I would say if you don't recognize any benefits to using them more, then you're probably not using the tools much, period. That's what I've found in my experience, and that's what I've noticed in other people's experiences. I guess that's it. So, I don't know. Throw a question on here? Yeah, sure, why not? No, those are the questions. There you go. I'll read them one more time for you. Sorry, brain's a little scatterbrained now. What is the power of great conversations? What is the value of powerful conversations? And where have you not been recognizing such or using it to its full benefits?